What's up, ACPS? This is your host, Suha, and Teen Talk is back with more resources and opportunities you can utilize to achieve your goals in 2025 and become an absolute academic weapon. Join our February episode to learn more about competitive student organizations like Model UN, Mesa, and FBLA. If your goal is to be a well-spoken, critical thinking, confident advocate, Model UN is what you've been looking for. Based on the principle of the United Nations, Model UN will teach you about international relations and global issues. Today, we have Crofton High School's Model UN as a representative. Hi.
Hi, how are you?
Welcome in. I'm very good. Okay, give me a little introduction for ourselves.
All right. Hi, I'm Alma. I'm a junior at Crofton High School. I've been a part of Model UN since the 7th grade.
Wow, 7th grade, so that's middle school, right?
Mhm.
That's even before I moved to the States, so wow, that's a really long time. How's your transitions been from middle school to high school? What are some memories you have then?
Well, as a middle schooler, it was a very relaxed environment, and I think that it helped me transition into high school, which was more competitive and more rigorous, if you want to use that word. And I think that it helped me gain the skills and the confidence that I needed to be a efficient delegate for the Model UN.
Ooh, I heard that this is how you guys dress for the conferences.
Yes,
so
it is.
How would you rate this outfit?
A solid 10.
A solid 10, thank you. Well, even though I may know the outfit, I'm not really sure about what is going on inside of the conference. So can you let me know of what really happens inside of a conference of Model UN?
Yeah, of course. Well, the Model UN is essentially a simulation of the real United Nations, and what you do in the Model United Nations is you attend conferences that have specific topics. Those topics typically regard global affairs, so topics like water scarcity or international security. Those things are all topics that you discuss at the conference as a representative of a certain country that you are assigned. And at those conferences, you try to come up with resolutions and, delegate a sort of discussion with other nations.
Interesting, because I first thought that Model UN was more of a competitive environment, but it sounds like it's more of coming together and more of talking and finding a resolution together as a team, no matter where you guys are from. Can you tell me more about those traits about the Model UN?
Yeah, of course. Well, just like the real United Nations, the whole idea of a conference for Model UN is to come together and find a solution for a certain issue. So while that might involve a bit of debate and a bit of quarrel, if you will, it does require a lot of diplomacy.
Mm-hmm. Do you have any special memories in Model UN?
I think that last year in the spring, I went to the Towson conference as an invitee for Crofton High School. And with me and my partner, we represented Norway, and the topic was water scarcity. And that was probably one of the best memories I've made at a conference.
Ooh, I'll probably have to ask you this question then. What was the most interesting topic you have encountered in a conference?
Probably my 2020 year. We did COVID-19. It was very relevant to the situation, the political climate at the time, so I thought that was very interesting.
That's interesting. If you would say there is one trait that students must have to be involved in Model UN, what do you think the key trait is?
A key trait, I think, is charisma.
Mm.
Although you can make up for a lack of charisma with a abundance of knowledge, I think that it is very, very important to be charismatic and to be able to talk to people naturally with ease, and to be able to come up with solutions on the spot and have a sort of aura to the.
That's actually really interesting because I feel like not a lot of opportunities discuss about how much charisma someone requires, but I think that is one of the most important qualities of a leader. So
Mhm.
it is very interesting to know about that. Is there anything that you want to tell the students about Model UN or anyone who's interested in political science?
Well, if anybody is interested in going into a field like public relations or international relations or public policy or political science, Model UN builds the skills that you need in order to succeed in those career fields.
Thanks for talking with us, Alma. Coming up next, we'll speak to another member of Crofton Model UN. Welcome back. We have another member of Crofton High School Model UN. Hi. Can I get a little
Hi.
introduction?
Yes, I'm Chloe. I'm a senior at Crofton High School. I've been in Model UN since I was a freshman in high school, and I was the vice president my freshman year and the president my sophomore and junior year.
Vice president freshman year,
Yeah.
and the rest of 2 years as a president?
Mm-hmm.
Pretty impressive. Okay, tell me a little bit about Crofton Model UN in specific, since you were in the leadership team.
Yeah, so our school is very new. People in the county will know. So when I first joined, we didn't have a ton of clubs. Model UN was one of the first and only clubs that our school offered. So I leaped on that opportunity. We had a team of about 6 that first few meetings, and pretty much every year we've had a different mentor. Our clubs jumped around. But we've had so many teachers step up and, offer to come to field trips with us and come to events and sponsor us for the past few years. So it's been a really unique experience.
That's amazing. Okay, real quick, how many members do you have now?
I would say around 25-ish.
25. So
It's
that's
grown a lot.
That's amazing to
Mhm.
hear. I definitely know that Crofton is brand new, and it is exciting to hear that Model UN is one of the first clubs that you guys had. What are some unique traits about Model UN, along with any other clubs that you guys have?
Yeah, I would say that Model UN definitely teaches a lot of students to come out of their comfort zone. So I would say that Model UN is unique in that sense that it's not just a club you go to socialize with your friends. You're also learning different writing skills, presentation skills. You're learning to be a leader, and you're also learning to make an impact in your community. So I would say that sets it apart widely
That's
from other clubs.
amazing. Give me a little introduction of what's the process of attending a conference of Model UN? Like, how do you guys prepare for it? What happens when you guys get there? Or how do you guys announce a winner? Or
Yeah, so there are technically a few winners. You can win awards at the end of a conference, and it's based off of the entire time there. So starting based off of different conferences, the preparation will be a little different, but you write a preliminary statement, which is pretty much everyone's favorite thing to write because it's only a paragraph. So you get to write it real fast in the beginning. You talk to the whole entire congregation of Model UN members and announce your position basically on the debate or whatever the conference is going to be about. So you write that really quick. Your preliminary statement's pretty fast. And then you write a position paper with your partner. That takes a little longer. It's not as liked in the group. It's a few page paper just on your position of the conference, what you're hoping to achieve, and your goals. And then you finish with a resolution, and that is a paper normally crafted by your committee or the group of people in the conference. So it's a lot of preparation, lots of debate.
It is a lot.
Yeah, depending on what conference you go to, some you could prepare on the way there a week in advance. Others could be a few months. So It really just
Wow.
depends, and there's a lot of different levels for new members to engage in. Which is
I
great.
love how it's not only as a team, but I heard that you guys mentioned partners as well. Is it
Yes.
grouped as like pairs?
Yes, so a delegation will be 2 people, depending on what conference. There's a few you can go in on your own, but most of the time people like to be in the 2-person conference ones just because you get to have a little partner to go with.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're assigned a country. There's 193 countries you can pick from. Most of the time the conference will assign it to you, so you don't have all of the freedom to pick it, but you get to, partner up with someone. It's really great. You split the work between the 2, and it's nice to have someone to bounce ideas off of.
Yeah, I love how when I think about a competitive team, I think of more of as a group, but as a duo, I think it'll be more of a bonding time
Yes.
together. Is there any special memories you have regarding that?
Yeah, I definitely think my freshman year, I was the kind of the first and last time we did this, but we used to do mock conferences inside of the club. So we'd stay after school for a few hours and just debate and have a good time. It was always catered. We'd had a ton of food. I think if I could bring that back, I would, but we haven't gotten that much funding for a few years. But that was a good time.
I definitely heard you guys also like stay a night at a hotel if it's a big conference. And I honestly always imagine like that's such a fun activity, like a little sleepover together, having to plan a group project and speaking in front of people, meeting new people too. I just thought it will be an amazing opportunity for any of the students out there who's interested in public speaking and meeting people in general. So
Yes.
what's your tip for students who want to be engaged in Model UN?
Yeah, I would say my biggest tip is to get involved now. At any age, you can start getting involved in politics. We're in one of the biggest political changes right now, and I think it's a good time to turn on the news and start getting engaged. Model UN not only allows for middle schoolers all the way through college to get involved in politics, but if you have a club offered at your school, definitely join. Ask the mentors ways you can get involved. If you don't have a club at your school, you can do what Crofton High School did and start your own. But I think it's definitely a pressing time to, start looking around and start watching. So definitely get involved in any way you can.
Can I ask you what your field of interest is like in studying?
Yeah, so ironically, I'm interested in becoming an engineer. So I'm going to,
Oh.
So next year I'm going to school for engineering, not political science, but
That's amazing.
yeah, I have a lot of friends who are going for political science, a lot of Model UN people, so it'll be fun to keep in touch and see their experience.
I think that shows even more how Model UN is not just for the people who are interested in public relations or global issues, but also who are just interested in growing leadership skills like you. So it's
for
very
everyone.
nice to hear.
Yeah.
Again, thank you to Alma and Chloe who joined us today to represent Model UN and share this valuable opportunity. If you are passionate in political science, international relations, environmental science, and more, consider becoming a Model UN member as a stepping stone to your dream. Before we meet our upcoming guest, an outfit change might be necessary. Ta-da! As a chemistry lover, I'm thrilled to introduce our next guest in the studio. If you love science and math, Mesa is what you've been looking for. To learn more about the various fields of study and competition Mesa provides, we invited Arundel High School's Mesa team today. Hi Peter, how are you today?
I'm doing good. Thank you for asking.
Give me a little introduction of yourself.
Yeah, so my name is Peter Kim. I am a senior at Arundel High School, and as you mentioned, I participate in our school's Mesa team.
Okay, perfect. So tell me more about Mesa. What is it?
Yeah, so Mesa is a math, engineering, science, and academics club where we tackle engineering problems that are presented to us.
So give me some of your experiences with Mesa.
Yeah, so I've been in part of the Mesa Club for about 4, 6, 7, 8 years now. So since 6th grade, and it's been a lot. There's been a lot. We've gone to multiple competitions at the regional level, and we have participated in state competitions. I personally love working on the expanding structure projects, where you have a given constraint on dimensions, and then your project opens up and expands to a certain dimension that they specify. So that's been my experience in Mesa so far.
Interesting. It sounds like you guys have different topics within the competition. Is there different fields of studies? Or...
Yes. Yeah. So we are, as a club sponsored by Johns Hopkins, the Applied Physics Lab, they work on a variety of subjects and fields. So with the Mesa program, we have competitions in medical, where you get to monitor a baby and their vitals. You have more of the civil engineering kind of challenges with the expanding structure. We have a Arduino, so if you enjoy working with circuitry and electronics, that's a perfect project for you. And we also have a community inequity project, where you can find an inequity in your community and then develop a solution for that problem.
Okay, give me a little run through of how your competition day would look like.
Yeah, so we get there early in the morning. I believe the last competition we went to was in person. So we got to go to the Johns Hopkins Applied Physics Lab campus. So there we set up our project and our report on our project like a gallery. So all the other teams from our region came and participated. They had all their projects out. They had presentations on their project, what the engineering was behind their final project, and how they ultimately iterated through their designs and completed their project for that season. And so the competitions there, it's a big gallery and an expo of all the projects from the region.
Ooh, interesting. As as one of the leaders of Arundel Mesa, actually, what do you think is a trait that students should have to be involved in Mesa?
I think they need to love being curious, being
Mm.
investigative, and always seeking new knowledge and solutions.
Oh, interesting. Is there any tips that you have for who wants to join Mesa in the future?
Yeah, just have fun with it. It's although you can be very serious in competitions, it's also a club where you get to hang out with your friends and you pretty much get to create designs and mess around with your friends for as much as you like. So it's just have fun with Mesa, and go out to competitions to have fun.
I definitely understand as a chemistry lover, definitely just looking at the periodic chart can be fun when it involves some curiosity and some fun interactions with our friends. So I definitely understand where you're coming from. Thanks for talking with us, Peter. Coming up next, we'll speak to another member of Arundel High School Mesa Club. Welcome back. We have another member of Arundel High School's Mesa Club. Hi.
Hi.
Can I get an introduction for the viewers?
So, my name is Ryan Garrett. I am a senior at Arundel High School, and this is my second year in Mesa.
Okay. Okay, before we start, can I ask you what field of study that you're interested in?
So, I'm looking to become a biomedical engineer. Yeah.
Okay. The word biomedical engineer just scared me as you said it, but
Yeah.
can you tell me a little bit more about it?
So, biomedical engineering is essentially the integration of biology, medicine, and engineering into one. So, it's using like engineering principles to solve biomedical issues.
Okay, how do you think Mesa helped you grow skills or any knowledge with your interest?
So definitely the collaboration aspect, because in Mesa it's really important to like work as a team,
Right.
and that skill will transfer well to biomedical engineering, because while there is a lot of solo work involved in the field from my research, there is a lot of teamwork too, like working on group projects with other people. So definitely the collaboration skills that Mesa helped me build, it's going to be very important to my future career.
That's actually really interesting because I always thought of when I think of chemistry, I think about research, being stuck in a lab, but also I think there is so much of a collaborative moment in science. So, do you have any special memories with your team?
I remember distinctly when we were actually doing the project, because in Mesa you actually have to write up a report for like whatever thing you do.
Mhm.
So I remember me, Peter, and because we were on the same project, us and the other members of our group, we were working on the presentation that has to go with our project. And I remember just like working together, each of us assigned our own task. We were all like, I forgot how we were communicating, but we were all communicating with each other, getting our parts done. And it's just kind of fun, like doing a project, a bunch of people working on the same thing at the same time. I don't know, there's just something fun about it.
Yeah, I think definitely even if you kind of do the same thing with labs and science classes, it's definitely different when you guys come together outside of class and kind of work together towards a certain problem. Have you faced any hardships in Mesa?
I'd say probably the biggest problem for Mesa is like, I guess like almost like writer's block in a way, where like you don't know what to do on the project, because it's like kind of there's a huge amount of possibilities in front of you, and like there's a lot of
Right.
ways you can approach a problem. So really putting pen to paper and deciding what to actually do to start with your project, that's probably the most difficult part of it.
Oh, interesting. Because I definitely understand. That's how I feel when I get a essay prompt
Yeah.
and we really don't know how to start, and I can't imagine having a even more complicated problem and having to build everything upon that is kind of crazy to me. Well, do you have any tips for students who want to join Mesa?
I mean, honestly, I'd say just do it. It's a very like whatever problems you might envision like coming there, like being in Mesa, like there's people there to help you. Like your
Mm.
teammates, they're all. It's a very friendly like community almost. Like I
Yeah,
say
yeah.
use the word because there's only like there's not a lot of us in there, but hopefully we will get more soon. But in the Mesa community, it's all very supportive. Everyone's there to help.
Mhm.
So whatever problems you may have, like the people in Mesa already will gladly help you out with whatever you need.
I think definitely because there is a small community, the bonding might grow stronger.
Yeah.
And I would definitely want to join the team or even join a conference to see you guys work on a project together. So that's very exciting to hear. Well, thank you so much for coming in and telling about your Mesa experiences
Yeah,
tonight.
no problem.
I hope our STEM students interested in research and competition took notes of all great advice Peter and Ryan gave us today. If you want to learn more about Mesa, look up mesausa.org or check out our Instagram page at AACPS Teen Talk, as I will be posting answers to any questions you have. We are with South River FBLA right now. Can we get a little bit of an introduction from everyone?
Hi everyone, my name is Anika Thomas. I am a junior at South River High School. I have been in FBLA for 3 years, and right now I am the chapter's treasurer.
My name is Sarah Olvey. I'm a STEM senior at South River High, and this is my 4th year in FBLA. Um, in the past, I've served as FBLA president, and I've also been a state officer for Maryland FBLA.
My name is Teresa. This is my 3rd year in FBLA. I'm a current STEM junior at South River High School, and I am my chapter's freshman liaison.
Okay, I see an interesting pattern. So you guys all joined from your freshman year and continued up to the grade you're in right now. I feel like this is interesting to me because I see a lot of students joining a club in their sophomore year or like mid freshman year, the earliest, because they usually have a hard time figuring out what is what and like what clubs there are to be involved in. How did you guys learn about FBLA?
Well, I learned about FBLA on my first day of freshman year because one of my teachers was the advisor at the time and he mentioned it to us during the class orientation. And it kind of became the club that everyone was joining. So it may sound
Oh,
cliche, but it was like the cool club that all of us kind of united in. And it definitely proved to be so much fun because I remember I wasn't expecting to advance as far as I did in my freshman year, but I did actually go to the National Leadership Conference and that just started my whole high school journey and painted it just full of business. And yeah, FBLA was the start of probably like a lot of the cool experiences I've had in high school overall.
Well, I also found out about FBLA through one of my freshman classes from a teacher who was the former advisor. And, I've never been like approached like that to join a club. So I was very compelled to come to the meeting, and immediately I noticed a very large and like tight knit community, which I was really attracted to. I thought that was really cool. I hadn't seen that in a lot of other clubs. And so yeah, I just kind of stuck with it because I just love the community aspect. And then along with that, experiences came through like conferences. So I kind of just stuck with it all throughout my high school experience.
so I heard of FBLA, but I'm still not sure what it is exactly. So can you guys give me a quick explanation of what FBLA is?
So, FBLA is a dynamic club in which students can compete in events pertaining to business. However, it's not just business, it could be anything from computer programming to medical to marketing. And through all of these disciplines, there's varying aspects to your competition. For example, last year I did role play, you can do a test, you could also do presentations. Some events require you to make things like a presentation or a video or a product to present to judges later on. And it's a really involved club because it allows you to combine your passions with business and pursue that in a competitive environment.
I did not realize how it is more of a wider range than just business. I'm not even sure what I was thinking about when I was thinking business, but definitely it makes sense how it also includes marketing, communication, and leadership overall. Have do you guys have any special experience you guys had in regional or national conference or competitions?
I think one of the most like valuable and I don't know, just like experiences that I really resonate with me are going to these conferences. They're not just like you competing against your school or, competitors through a small space, but it's actually people from throughout your county, throughout other counties, and they're split up into different regions. And like for our regional leadership conference, we have members throughout the region competing in one event and then or in one place, and then at the state leadership conference it's everyone from our state, and again at the national level it's people from the nation. And I feel through those experiences, I've got to meet so many new people, because we have to do these like workshops while we're there. It's not just a place where you can compete in your event, you also participate in business related workshops. And through that, they are really interactive and they kind of force you to talk to and communicate with the people around you. And through that, I've made such good relationships with people beyond my school, and it really helped me like build upon and work on my social skills because I could meet so many new people in in such a large place.
I can already imagine how it's just like a whole ballroom of extroverts. I am personally an extrovert too, but honestly, I think business entrepreneurs are a different breed. They are beyond extroverted. I study chemistry. Actually, what's your like field of interest in studying?
Business and economics, partly because of FBLA. I've gotten to explore multiple disciplines from business law, banking and finance, and this year I'm doing economics. So being an FBA has definitely fueled my passion for that, and hopefully I'll be able to pursue that in college.
Obviously business, but I would like to take the route of entrepreneurship and possibly incorporating some sort of consulting into that because I've seen that FBLA has taught me so much about presenting myself as a strong leader. So anything that allows me to continue that pursuit of being an entrepreneur or a leader in business, I would love to pursue.
I'm still kind of finding my path and what I would like to pursue in my future, but I feel like it has really had a big impact on that. I never really saw business as like a future path for me, but ever since being in this club, I realized that I really like the leadership and management aspect of it. So, I would love to combine some sort of business, whether it's economics, finance, or consulting, with the medical field because those are two things that I'm very interested in. And so hopefully when I go to college, I can find, a major that kind of fits those two items and help me, reach my goals in the future.
Interesting challenges. I really want to put myself out there so I can build myself again for a better version and 2025. So I definitely agree with everything you guys said. Um, Thank you so much for all the answers, for all of your opinions. I'm gonna stop recording right now. Before we close, thank you so much for all of our guests who joined to share these valuable opportunities. I hope this episode can become your first step in achieving all your goals in 2025.